Welcome back to Sayajin YouTube channel. So this is my review for Pacific Drive. It is pretty tough and pretty tough survival game for sure. And it's a pretty nice game, so overall it's pretty nice. But at the same time it's brutally challenging at some points. It's because you are in case you need to know, you are in 1950s. Your only transport is basically this car which you go outside with and then find equipments to deal equipments, basically houses and stuff like that, where you get materials where you can go back and upgrade your car. And the car physics is pretty weird per se, the driving physics are pretty weird, but at the same time it's pretty challenging. And overall it's a pretty nice survival game. You go into these houses and stuff where you get loot basically, or else you can just go and destroy it with a saw per se, and then you get additional loots from it which you go back and do it and just upgrade your car. And that's the gameplay loop, and the gameplay is pretty tough at times because when you're going back, it has this exclusion zone kind of a vibe where there are anomalies which are going on. And once you take this orb, there's an orb which you need to which you need to take, and when you take this table anchor, you need to go back to this bright light on the screen, but then the anomalies start appearing. And it's pretty challenging to drive it because these are pretty weird anomalies. At the same time there might be avalanches, there might be meteor shooting, something like that. And once you go into this light, teleported back to your garage where you can upgrade your car. So yeah, that's the basic gameplay loop. And yeah, it's pretty challenging. These anomalies are pretty randomly generated, and this game has a pretty it's not an open world game, but at the same time it has it has zones basically, and it's pretty big zones. And yeah, the blueprint mechanics is pretty weird at times. You don't know what you need to upgrade and such, but you need to keep your car upgraded, and also fuel and spare tires, everything else you need to keep that in mind, whether it's perfect or not. Or else if you're if one of that breaks, then you are essentially done for, and then you need to restart it to the next checkpoint or stuff like that. So it's pretty tough at times. And also these events that happen, these anomalies, are pretty weird. At the start of the game, you don't know literally anything, and the game doesn't do fair at the start. At the start of the game, it's pretty challenging. If you hit one of the anomalies, you are just done. And there's this car health and stuff, and if it goes down, essentially the game is over, and then you're done. And you're just solving this mystery why these anomalies are happening and stuff. Overall it's pretty challenging, and you can sink tons of hours into this game, like essentially 20-30 hours into this game if you want to see all of the anomalies. And these anomalies are randomly generated. You have random lightning strikes, you have random places where there's fog or stuff like that where you can't go. There are puppet monster which is going, and if you touch one of them they will start attacking you. So overall, yeah, it's pretty tough, and at times it can be brutally challenging if you don't know what you're doing and how to control your car, because at the start the car physics is pretty wonky, and even if you tell your car to go left, it will not give. And later down the line, the most interesting thing is like your car develops a thing of its own, like it gets possessed by these anomalies and stuff, and then you need to do things so that this is gone away. So yeah, it's challenging. And when your car is getting haunted, basically it gets haunted, and once it gets haunted, then you are done. Then if you tell the car to start the engine, it might not start it. If you tell it to go left, it will go right. So it becomes pretty challenging, but at least it doesn't appear at the start of the game, or else it would be pretty annoying to deal with. But after halfway of the game, mostly after few hours, it just starts happening. And then yeah, it's it's pretty it's pretty bad overall. But it gives additional challenge because you feel like the game becomes stale after some point. But after this mechanic gets implemented, it feels, yeah, it feels a new game all of a sudden. And also This game was made by Ironwood Studios, and it is it is made by Ironwood Studios and published by Gaplus Interactive, and they did a pretty good job. And essentially, when you have to diagnose and remove this anomaly, you need to play a word puzzle, which is, I say, it's a pretty tough if you don't know what you're doing, and if you're not good with word puzzle, then you can't do it. But if you know what you're doing, then you can diagnose it pretty easily, and yeah, you can essentially take it, like you can make it unhaunted at at the same time. But you need to go at your garage to do it. You have scan features, you have scappers, and everything else. And the most important thing is upgrading your base, and mostly upgrading your car so that it doesn't get destroyed, and there's no bust tire or some things which will halt your progress. But yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about this review? Sound of your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll meet you in the next one. Peace out.